Okay, good. I don't know exactly where to start with this, but I was going to do my icebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
And what I decided to do was to give them 9 individual questions that they all would answer. And this would give them an idea of what they would find out about one another. And I had 9 questions already assigned, but the 10th question they had to ask themselves of what I didn't cover. One of the questions was to get to know one another. What do you do for fun? What's your favorite music? What hobbies do you have? Do you play or are you part of an organized sports organization or program? Are you in the military? Because here in San Diego, we have so many that is involved with the military and all. Do you have or know a second language? Because much of what I do is with international studies, with African history off the continent, and it would be helpful if they did, and I thought that they would find a buddy that they could share that with. Are you from another country, or are you born in the United States? Why did you take this class? Is this your first class? What does it have to do with your academic program? And then the 10th question, I asked them to make up or create so that they would take an interactive part in this. And that would be something that they would be wanting to know about their other classmates. And so looking at all 10 of these questions, I was able to give them a certain number of points for each question that they had. I would be able to give them a certain number of points for each answer that they had. And then particularly with the 10th question that they had to generate and create to let people know something about them that I had not asked. And so looking at this, with each student being able to post this, I felt that that would give them a little bit of a comfort feeling that the students in the class would learn a little bit about who they were and how they could feel comfortable to exchange and answering some of these questions and activities during the school, during this semester. And so that was the beginning of this icebreaker that I thought would allow them to get to know one another about different activities and all.
Okay. Sir, can I see your screen?
Yes. Okay. The graphic that you have?
Go ahead, sir.
The graphic I chose is Abu Simbel, one of the structures in ancient Egypt. And if you look carefully, you can see that the structures are indigenous Black Africans. And that's one of the most important things that we have to share, is that we are Egypt, and Egypt is really us, and not the Islam, Arabs, camels that are there today. And so this picture was very important, and we would have quite a few pictures like this that they would have to get a chance to be a part of. Are you able to see the second picture that I showed down with Dr. Ben Hakanen?
Yes, I am, sir. Keep going.
I've led trips to Egypt. He had a 2-week trip, and we went to 5 different cities in Egypt. And some of the artifacts, what's important here is that we're at the traditional Karnak, the first university, 40,000 students. The 7 liberal arts that we study today was developed as part of the curriculum for the students attending Karnak. And the columns that you see, normally you associate these columns with Greece and Rome, but this is 1,000 years, 700 years before Greece and Rome that we deal with. Here is another picture that's not as clear as I would like it. These are the African Olmec stone heads in the Caribbean, where Africans from ancient Egypt sailed across the Atlantic in papyrus reed boats made out of the Nile River to show that they're the first people to sail in the history of the world, 5,200 years ago. And this is one of the pictures out of my exhibits. And my exhibit talks about the African diaspora maritime. And so these youngsters will be able to see some of the actual research, archaeological research that we've done to connect ancient Egypt and Africa with what happened here in the Western Hemisphere 3,000 years ago with Africans arriving. I work with Dr. Henry Louis Gates from Harvard University, who has specialized in the DNA. So we can cross-reference this in several different ways, academically, with the DNA, culturally, with these pictures of these heads. There's 17 of them. And you can see I'm standing next to one, so they're 10 to 12 feet tall. And they've been carbon dated to actually go back to the 25th dynastic period with ancient Egypt.
No, sir, that was very interesting. I'm thinking of the time. Okay, very interesting.
Okay.
So stop.